Hello and welcome to the CartoonStock Caption Contest.
Yeah, this is great. This is the 6,748th version of this. A lot of you have missed some of the earlier contests dating back to the 40s. Hey, and so we have Bob Eckstein, who I've known for a long time, prolific cartoonist, author, promoter, not only of his own work, but of cartooning in general. I think he's been a fantastic ambassador for cartooning, while most cartoonists are just completely holed up in their little garrets, never looking out one way or the other. Bob is very, very active, and it's a privilege to have him here and as my friend. How are you doing, Bob?
I'm doing great. It's great to see everyone. And I think I'm meeting Joel for the first time, and gives me a chance to thank everyone for what you're doing at the Cartoon Stock, and Bob, what you've done with sort of raising awareness. And it's great to see Trevor, who I need to see on the tennis court sometime soon.
That's right.
I played last night and had maybe the best match in years. I took some break, and the rest did my body well.
That's great.
Well, that's great. So, Bob, you are a prolific cartoonist, wonderful cartoonist, and you have yet another book coming out, a book about museums. Is that it? It looks all of the books are just lovely and really well researched.
Yeah, I'm having this great time with this new book called Footnotes from the Most Fascinating Museums. And it was a dream job because I got a chance to go to all these different museums, and I got inspired by going to seeing all this great artwork and traveling to these great places. And I love doing projects that kind of raise awareness to these different things we kind of take for granted. So yeah, the book project's fun. I'm doing some other books at the same time. I'm working on like 3 other books at the moment, and I'm finishing up a movie script. So I'm keeping busy, and I love cartooning.
Well, now you're annoying me. You're right. It's like, okay, but
Well, Bob, you're going to have a part in the movie. I'm sure you've had a part in all my books.
Yeah,
you've been in every book, I believe.
So what's the movie?
Well, the movie's based on a book called The History of the Snowman. So it's a
Well, that's your book.
That's my book, and it's a documentary. Yeah, it's fun to do because it kind of shows that snowman making is actually an art form. So that's kind of fun.
Very nice. Well, we'll include any links of any purchases on our email on Tuesday.
And of course, Lawrence's book is coming out,
and Bob's in it.
When is it coming out?
Yeah,
I mean, it's out. You can buy it now. You can actually get a copy in your hands.
You can get a copy in your hands on June 4th. And it has great Bob Eckstein and Bob Mankoff cartoons in it.
No, it's a wonderful book on the caption contest. And anyway, why don't we kick off this caption contest? We had some of the worst captions that I've ever seen. We really should have a whole episode on how bad can a caption be. And, because I think, I don't know, it easily extends on the other side to the abyss.
Yeah.
Just absolute clunkiness. But it was I think when you have this, you sort of, so it's a hard contest while it we pick, maybe we should.
Well, let me share the work, but I do agree.
Well, let's look at this, because you look at it and you think, oh, this is like a perfect caption contest, but empirically, it turns out that it maybe just confined people too much to the moves of the night or whatever.
So yeah, we've got a black bishop who's presumably talking. Presumably, I don't really take fault at that, but it does look like a mouth. You've got a white knight. You've got a black king judge, and then you have a mixed pawn, jury of pawns, and obviously, a checkered floor. And with the expression of the knight, it is a wide-eyed, sort of guilty. Doesn't look like a typical maybe witness, but I'm not gonna be too pedantic about whether people felt that the knight was on trial or whatnot. But I'm just kind of overanalyzing this, as we're supposed to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that. Anyway, so that was a thrust of a lot of the captions that
Yes.
this was a and well, in Lawrence's book, and what we all know is you should try to figure out who is talking, and a number of people didn't have the bishop talking. That just didn't work for me. The
Right.
bishop is talking. Is that not right, Bob? You drew this cartoon.
No, correct.
All right.
Oh, I was gonna say that was open to interpretation, just because that's exactly what a bishop would have.
So English of you. Open to interpretation.
That's
Well,
just right.
it's also in the foreground. So if
But he
if you
looks
look at
like
the background,
that the way he is positioned looks like it's aggressive. It looks, I mean, it looks like it's aggressive, and there's no mouth going on in with the knife.
No, but the judge could be banging a hammer potentially because it's not at rest. It's kind of looks like he could be banging. But I agree.
It's in the foreground. It's in your face.
Yeah, I agree.
It's in your face that you've got to go with the most. It's in your face. I think what happens in caption contests is it's difficult, and you've got another caption that is better if you can have the judge talking or that, and so that forces you to do that. But anyway,
I know it's pointless me arguing, but I'm going to do anyway just for a second. I think you could argue that the knight is talking because his mouth is slightly agape, and you could argue that there's a kind of a triangle of interest at which it's at the pinnacle between the bishop and the.
Well, I guess we know what kinds of captions you picked.
Yeah.
I guess that is pretty obvious here. But I mean, they're all's fair in love and war and caption contests, and sometimes because it's hard. So, I would say if there was some great caption coming out of the night, which there wasn't, then you could.
Well, let's get to that. I like Bob said, and I think everyone here agrees, this was a hard one, but I was surprised we had so many in common. So let me share. Let me share this guy here instead. So these were the ones, and it doesn't seem you guys are not seeing. Stop the screen share. And let me share. It says I'm sharing this, but let me share here. Okay, so these are the ones that we all had in common. One of them was actually shared across 4 of our captions. The one that was shared across 4 of our captions was "Don't sidestep the question." The others were. The others.
Yeah, I thought that was the best of those kinds. It takes into account the unusual kind of move that the knight has, and short, and for that I thought that was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every other one was shared was just twice in common, but "Don't sidestep the question" was shared. So normally what we do is we try to get these down into 6, and then we then fight for our others. So I did put these. I did put these in the captions. So let me share.
Oh, I just actually got one. Were you ever manipulated by the Russians?
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
And it's more like Russians in chess. And
yes,
which I didn't. I thought it was just making a reference, to what else is going on. Now I realize it's double. So better.
Yeah, there were 2 Russian ones. One of those was mine. I wanted to put in one of the Russians, but so here's what we have again in no order. These are just the ones that were all shared across ours, and we need to pop out at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Your Honor, my client claims he was only acting in Sicilian defense. It's got a nice chess pun in there.
Yeah.
And a country known for crime to some extent.
You're gonna get some
Yeah,
letters.
maybe another double that I didn't pick up on. But I thought a lot of these were, that's clever, but definitely not funny.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I understand. You get credit.
Yeah.
Because you came up with something that mashed these things together in a way that within the playful framework of captioning makes sense, but doesn't hit you, right? It's like, in fact, it's a little jarring almost. It's like you're shoehorning it in.
I think
it's hard to describe
exactly.
it, but it's hard. So yeah.
Yeah, this one I think was one of the better ones with some deeper chess.
With you mean that made actual chess reference?
Right. The word forking, which obviously the dual attack chess move is popular, but the forking ones were horrible.
No, I didn't.
One of them was like, I forked your mother and your. It was
forked the queen and the king and queen at the same time, which means that you'd be able to capture the.
Yeah.
I mean, unless of course you were taken, right?
We'll keep this one in there. No one seems to think it's a winner, but no one absolutely hates it.
Yeah.
I won't delete it right away.
Okay.
Your Honor, he'll never go straight.
It's not bad.
It works with the expression of the horse and the delivery and everything.
We're marking all these against the curve of the contest in general, because we assume that the usual suspects enter our contest, and they're pretty good at it. From the past, they're pretty good at it. So if they're coming up with bad captions, that means this is a difficult caption contest, which means that you look at them a little bit differently.
You may step down and across. This one I think is formulaic but great. I mean, it's a good caption for me. Not a.
All right, I'm being too lawyerly about this, but the attorney wouldn't say that. The judge would say that.
Okay, all right, that's important to have context.
I think that's being too technical. What's great about this caption is got grace. And that's something that you don't always see in these caption contests, is that the writers are all looking at it too seriously and too analytically, and then it lacks grace. And there's something about a great caption that has that.
Yeah, I agree.
One part, down and across, I like that expression more. I think when kids play chess, they say he goes diagonal and he goes this way. So when the word, I didn't like when the word diagonal was put in as much, because I felt like it was kid chess. But that's just maybe me.
But I do like this, and I do get Bob Eckstein's point, but there was another caption that I liked that kind of made the same joke, and it was, "Why did you come forward and to the side?"
Mm-hmm. There are. We'll address all of those.
Yeah, so there are a lot about the specific moves a knight makes.
Yeah,
and we should just pick one of those.
No, I think when we wind these down, we should definitely pick.
Well, I sort of like this because he does have an exact twin. I mean, this is a good caption.
Now, this wasn't one of mine, but I like it.
And it surprised me. And I think this is actually funny. Yeah. And it's the kind of excuse that is sometimes made. And there's actually a case in the news today or a couple of days ago about it's a woman who ran over an Amish buggy and killed some children. She was with her twin. Okay, she was with her twin. This woman, who did the running over, was on methamphetamines and would have gone to prison if you. And her twin switched and said she did it because she didn't have the record. Okay. And so that was in the news. I don't know. And I'm just saying this is a good caption.
Yeah, that was in my top 10.
Yeah, I like this one too. It's a good. Were you the knight in question?
I mean, that's dumb. I picked that because it was just, I don't know what it was. It was okay. It was stupid, but compressed. You know what I mean?
It ties it. It ties it.
It's actually pretty good. It makes us think of this phrase, the night in question.
Yeah, where were you in the night in question?
Right,
In
exactly.
terms of procedurals, right? Where were you the night in question?
Yeah, it
And
connects
were you-
to it connects to the
pretty good, I
setting.
think. Yeah.
I also like that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll stick here with one that we talked about. Were you ever manipulated by Russians? I will look up the other Russian jokes. There were a couple that had Russians in them.
That's the best of them.
I don't like any of those ones which implies an external force. The ones which, like the hand, there's a hand hovering over the courtroom. Those kind of ones.
That was in there.
I liked the hand in question. I didn't
Okay.
like the ginormous hand or anything, but and do you now see the hand in question? Because I do think it sort of makes sense in that anything that these pieces do is not of their own free will. That there was a free will caption in there also, which was too much to process. But that could be an excuse, or anyway. So
yeah, no, I did have one of mine was technically I'm not responsible for any of my actions, which I thought was
so same kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No one really had any response to me putting this one up, so maybe I'd like to take this line of questioning in a different direction. No.
No.
I see here that you are a member of a white supremacy group.
So that was on my list.
There were a lot of forced black and white ones.
Well, I mean, it was hard to look at this and not think there would be some racial context where you
Right.
I mean, I picked a really stupid one, which made me laugh. How you feeling now, white boy? Like
that was.
I don't know. It made me laugh because after you've seen all these, very constructed things, it just it's
refreshing.
But
to go back to the white supremacy one, I mean, it is quite clever because he is part of a group and they are trying to win. They are trying to
white always goes first, doesn't it? So it's
I mean, it is clever. It's not just that it has the shocking element of.
It's clever, but because it's such a subject matter that is so sensitive, it extracts the humor out of it. You don't feel like laughing because you start contemplating the meaning of it.
No, I don't.
I do.
By the way, no, I don't. It's a cartoon. You contemplate.
No, but you start thinking it is a heavy subject to toss into a cartoon.
Well, but I think, it is. But it's also, it also can be funny at the same time, or not. I mean, depending on how you. The other ones about white privilege, and it's not like that is not a topic that has been brought up in chess, especially maybe not so much now because we're maybe over peak sensitivity about white, giving the first move, white and black, even though that's chess. But that was that has been talked about. Okay, within the contents of racial. So there were other captions like that, right? But they were too clunky, right? About white privilege.
They're clunky. I do somewhat agree with Bob Eckstein, though, in that how funny is this one.
Well, let's just say you could talk about anything, but if it's really funny, you can get away with it. But this one didn't make me laugh. So
well, you're right. It's not really. The whole caption doesn't feel like the grace. It doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I see here that you are a member of is horrible.
But,
I see here that you deny. It should have been something like that. So I do think it gets clunky. So, but anyway, go.
Don't sidestep the question.
So that's good. That's good for that one.
That's nice and concise.
Yep. And do you see this giant hand right now?
Yeah, this is one of the ones.
It did make it across a couple of hours.
It was in mine. It was in my top 10 just because I like the reference to the fact that, as Bob said, they're not moving of their own free will. They are being moved by a giant. What would prevent a giant hand?
And also, it makes us think that's the excuse. Whereas if you say
Right.
I wasn't moving of my own free will, then you're
Right.
going right to that. So
Right.
this is better, I think, because you have to put in that piece of, and do you see this giant hand right now? That's why I'm not responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does solve the question or the cartoon.
Yeah.
So we have quite a few here. I think we can knock some out now before we get to our solving here. Should we can start with, if you want to pick one of these two about the movement, step down and across, your honor, he'll never go straight. Seems
Well, isn't don't sidestep the question?
yeah, I think that one's probably the best
I
one.
think that's the
Yeah.
one we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
And therefore, those other two are that same idea.
Right.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, anyone want to take the lead here? Though the
I don't like the Russians one.
I'm sorry, you don't like that one, Joel?
I don't like that. Why? Are you a big fan? If you are, then we'll stay.
I like the Russians one.
Yeah, I like the Russian one as well, but
And it allows us to kick out the giant hand if we still have that in there.
the giant hand is still in there. I did like the giant hand too.
But I think the Russians is better because that also implies that, you know, there's a hand, you're being manipulated, you're being lifted up by a hand and moved. So I think that Russians is better than giant hand.
Well, okay, and I think yeah.
And Russians
I like
also
the giant hand better, but I think the Russians gives us some diversity. I mean, I don't want to bring up a sensitive topic here, Bob Eckstein, that might set you off, this whole diversity thing, because I know how important that is. But
I'll control myself.
I know. I mean, in terms of I'm surprised that we have as good captions as we do, considering how lousy
so many
were.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about the Russians, and Bob brought this up, Bob Mankoff earlier, is it addresses the Russian chess champions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Hey, Bob Eckstein, for the purpose of this, would you mind changing your name to Paul? So that you
Let me
don't
make
have
some
to
phone
say
calls.
Bob Mankoff, Bob Eckstein. Or I could be Paul. I'll be Paul.
all.
Okay.
So
How we doing?
are we? It seems like the giant hand is not popular.
All right.
Unless
I
Paul
liked
wants
it.
to fight.
I liked it, but take it out.
Paul, you want to? No. Okay.
Take it out.
So now we're down to 7 here. I feel like everyone likes. Were you the knight in question? Everyone.
I think that's
likes
nice in terms of wordplay. I think that's good. We should keep.
Yeah, and it addresses the setting. I would take out. I'd like to take this line of questioning in a different direction.
Okay. I mean,
But
it doesn't make me.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't make. Yeah, well, maybe it does. I don't know. But,
It's no more clever than other weird movement expressions than like sidestepping the question or anything else.
well, I would take out the Sicilian. Well, how many were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Oh,
Yeah, the Sicilian defense doesn't make me laugh.
it's clever. It's not
Clever, but it doesn't make me. I do want to laugh at these. So, what do you think? Everybody have a. I think we're debating between removing.
Defense is less funny. That's definitely true. I think.
So Sicilian defense is gone.
I find that sort of clunky.
Yeah. If no one's fighting for it, then we're
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have it, right?
We've got 6.
well, but people should be able to fight for their individual.
Oh, that's
favorites.
right. I know.
Now let's fight.
That's right.
So we're down to 6 of our shared ones. Now, Lawrence, I guess we'll go with you first here.
All right. Mr. Eckstein will probably object to this as being insensitive.
Jump the queen.
I like that you jump
Lawrence.
the queen.
Lawrence will. Oh, as Joel was pointing out, Lawrence will often pick perverse sexual content. And you wouldn't think, but basically, I see over and over again. We see that perfectly fine with incest. I mean, one of the things now it's the frankly, it's rape.
You know, I know. It comes very close to a rape joke, and I don't want to.
You don't want to set Eckstein off again on.
I'm not going to fight hard for it.
All right, very good.
I had 3 witnesses testified that you couldn't walk straight, which I liked, but it's probably too close to the sidestep the question. Did you witness the attack? I thought was a nice reference to a chess move, and also made sense in the context of the courtroom setting.
Why does the 3 witnesses make sense?
No.
Did
Did you witness the attack?
Okay, did you witness the attack? I see.
Because that's what the chess move is. So I kind of like that. Again, I'm not going to fight too hard for it. I did like why did you come forward and to the side, and I think then the other ones are already.
But that sidestep, I think we should just have one that has that is.
So the only one that I really like that's not in our group right now is did you witness the attack? But I'm fine with the 6 that we have.
Yeah.
I feel.
Okay.
Joel, any that you want to talk about? Or
yeah, I mean, again, I'm fine with the 6 that we've got. Again, considering it looked like it was a bad lot, we have got quite a good 6, and I think
the 6 are good. Let's see. Yeah,
the only one I would shout out that hasn't got a mention yet is "Stop wasting time. It took the judge all day to get here." I quite like that. Just the notion of the king goes one move at a time. I think that's funny.
Oh, that takes a lot to process, though, right? Also, the king, it wouldn't take the king all day to get anywhere because how he ever moves. The king just sits on his ass the whole time until he castles and then runs for his life, but he can't very much, But but it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. I think it would. I think it would appeal to. We should have had some real. Does anybody seriously play chess?
No, I play, but
you do. Well, now your captions are going to get extra weight. They'll still be rejected because we're in control.
Yeah.
See my giant hand.
Joel, you did pretty well as far as having several of yours.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to really fight for the slow judge one, but yeah, I'm happy with the 6.
But I think it's small. I think it's
it's a clever one. Joel's normally on an island here where not many people share his ones.
Well, he is on an island.
Literally, yes.
Yes. So am I, though.
Oh, that's true. Just a longer one.
Yeah, a longer one. All right, Bob, number 1.
Yeah, the number 1. If the jury doesn't object, I'll give $500 and send it to who may step down and across. I think that's a good caption, and I'll send that person the $500 out of my pocket.
Wow. What do you think? You
Yeah, I think that there was also.
So you may step down.
Where is that? Where is this?
It's his first one. We knocked it out mostly because it wouldn't be the prosecutor saying it. But it did make our list.
Yeah, but I think that listening to everyone, I'm convinced that the best caption.
I had no idea you had this kind of money, Bob.
Yeah,
this is like a whole revelation.
Exactly.
So I guess you don't mind us not paying you for the cartoon now.
Totally fine.
Okay.
I think that listening to everyone, that the caption exact twin is a pretty good contender.
Yeah.
Yeah. The exact twin. You want it knocked out, or you like it?
I like it.
Yeah, it's
good. I like the exact twin. This one too. I don't think I put this one on mine, but Your Honor, my client, Mr. Knight, was not even on the board when the king was attacked.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Not so funny, but
but also I don't see where the Black Bishop is the attorney for the White Knight. It just doesn't resonate within this cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, but you suspend a little bit of belief in reality. I think that's why I didn't mind. You may step down now and across. I understand Larry's logic behind it, but you kind of like let go and you go with what.
I don't think you'd ever draw it that way with that caption in mind.
Okay.
That way, you would never draw it that way. If you submitted it because there's that little bit of confusion. You set up black and white. You've got that schema in your mind, and they're different there. So I disagree.
Lawrence, how many judges have a painting of their wife behind their heads? So it might not be entirely accurate, the scene, I think.
When I was in Alabama back in the late 80s, we had a case involving a judge who had the 10 Commandments behind him.
Oh, wow.
That is not allowed. I've never seen it.
That's Alabama. I mean, that's the whole
Alabama.
in vitro thing was the guy invoking, the Bible.
Yeah,
there's a lot of work down in Alabama.
The rebuttal last night was delivered from the kitchen of the Alabama.
Yeah, wow. 10 Commandments.
Trevor, thanks for bringing up another discrepancy in my picture. You're sabotaging my efforts.
And after all these years, you figure you know how to draw a cartoon. Maybe you're writing too many books.
Bob, it didn't bother me. I assume that it's not
so I couldn't see in the picture. So it's the Queen is Bond.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's great.
This cartoon wasn't my finest hour. That's why we're here.
It's a great cartoon.
It's
a
true.
great cartoon.
Don't get Joel started about the finest hour.
But I assume that a courtroom is not necessarily fair to begin with, so it made it look a little less impartial. I don't think that the wife being behind him hurt the caption. So.
No.
I think it's his wife second guessing him.
Bob Eckstein isn't going to get this, but last week we had our winning caption, or last month our winning caption was it was something like 13, including the one in the plane, and someone trolled us in this one and said one of the answers was 15, including the one in the portrait or something, and it made no sense.
That's right.
I like the idea of our caption contest going completely off the rails and meta.
Yeah, just passive aggressive insults to us the whole time. All right, Bob. Any that you're fighting?
Alone. I mean, I'm not going to fight for any. Was it? And did you see the giant hand? And you just stood there. I sort of like that because he could. He's the one who can't just stand there. He can jump. Exact twin. Night in question. Never go straight. How you feeling, my boy? Each time that was so stupid. It made me laugh because it had it would have been better if all the pieces were black.
Yeah.
In the jury. You may step down and across. So I mean, we really did have a lot of agreement. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, we had a surprising a lot of agreement. The chess joke for me. Are we ever going to get a straight answer out of you? Obviously, you can't go straight. So outside, murder in the 90th degree, considering of how they move, I thought was just such a eye-rolling, groany pun for me.
When you said 3 blocks away, do you mean like 3 spaces? That's how you were looking at it?
Yes. How he moves. Yeah. So he could have done it. Like it doesn't answer anything. That caption.
There was some caption.
I was 3 blocks away, but that is where I needed to be to kill her. And then permission to zigzag toward the bench is so stupid. Nothing. Another movement of the bishop. May I approach the corner of the bench? And permission to zigzag toward the bench.
All right. So we have our 6, I think.
Yeah.
We
do. I guess.
Unless we want to try to save Eckstein $500 and put his top caption in and substitute.
No, we're not doing that.
I mean, you may step down and cross.
Giant hand.
No. He wants you. You may step down and across versus. Don't sidestep the question.
Don't sidestep the question because once again, as Lawrence pointed out, who can say what? Don't sidestep the question is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 words. That's really good.
Yeah.
4 words. That's good.
Wait a minute. Did we keep? I'd like to take this line of questioning in a different direction.
That's in there. We can pop that out.
I don't think.
I think we have better ones than that.
Yeah, let's try to get.
Well, maybe put
Well, you know what? Let Bob have his thing.
I like Bob because it's a different
Yeah.
person saying.
Let Bob have his thing. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because they're different and it's a different person speaking. We're not taking the same joke two ways. One is the being relieved, and one is
Okay. Well,
then I'm just going to put.
Okay, so let's look for. Okay,
I would put in. Did you witness the attack? Unless you guys hate it or don't like it.
I don't think we hate it, but we don't. Nobody is saying, "Wow, that's good." So.
All right.
you may step down.
Well, I then would try to look for something about the Do we have anything about the external influence? It not being,
The Russians.
Yeah, we have the Russians.
Oh, you have the Russians. All right, we have the Russians.
You want? I know you don't like to have two similar jokes, but what about why did you come forward into the side? Because you're saying to a witness.
Who's saying that? So the bishop is saying, why did you?
What lawyers will often say to somebody, why did you come forward? Why did you decide to testify? And so it's combining.
I see.
It's combining a reference to that.
I see. Why did you come forward and to the side? Okay, I understand. All right.
Which I think is kind of nice.
I'm either okay with that or tired. I think it's tired.
Yeah,
it's a little passive. It's not very, assertive. It feels soft.
Rob, Bob, do you have someone else that you like other than the one that you picked?
I like Bob's too.
Other than that horrible one that you picked?
I like Bob's too.
You like Bob's?
Yeah.
All right, well then let's put that in. Come on, I mean, the person has some rights here. He was willing to.
I have no rights in this court. I'm ready to walk out.
It's outrageous.
Outrageous.
My client. Okay, so
we got 6. Let's go for a winner here. Let me make sure I have them all in. And let's go for winner.
Ooh, this is tense. Because amazing enough, now they're all good for all those terrible submissions.
All right. So
twin.
Here we go. This is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really like that.
And this one too just ties my head in a knot a little bit that I like.
That's nice, right? That's nice.
I think the first 2 were better than this one that I shared.
Yeah.
That can't win.
I think the first 2 are better than this.
Okay, yeah, but not okay.
I think the first 2 are then also
don't
better than that.
That's good.
What's the and then we still have. I see here that you're a member of a white supremacy group.
Yeah,
which I could knock out, but you want to keep that in there?
I think it's funny.
Yeah, I'll keep that in, but that can't win.
Yeah, that can't win. So that's 6. I think
that would be that might. Some people might think that's a support for white supremacy.
So I think it's between these 2. Were you right? No objections. That is between these 2. Were you the knight in question, and you expect us to believe you have an exact twin?
I think that should win.
Exact twin.
Yeah,
that works.
That's a really good caption.
All right. So let's find out who did that, and then let's make.
It's a pretty stupid bishop. I got to say that because I mean, look.
All right. So congratulations to Abby Siegel.
All right.
We expect us to believe you have an exact twin.
Yeah, we're going.
Let me read. I'll quickly read the top 10 of our public of what the public.
Yeah,
we've got to get Bob's original.
Yes, we'll go to Bob's original here. I actually put it in the doc. Where are we? Did you or did you not move diagonally? Did you or did you not move diagonally? It was Bob's original.
I wouldn't pick it as a top 10.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's sometimes you get stuck.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just doesn't happen. But the drawing I knew there was something there. So this is great.
The drawing was, I think the drawing was something there, and I think the final winning caption actually is funny.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the other one also is funny.
Yeah, I thought
And-
the two were funny. Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
It's a great drawing.
Oh,
And it's
thank
great for
you.
a contest.
So here's the top 10 as voted on by you, the viewers.
You, the public. You, the public, who never. Hey, how about going to the site and buying a cartoon every once in a while? You know,
You
how
may
about doing that? All right.
you may step down and across. Number one, the witness may step down and to the right. Stop wasting time. It took the judge all day to get here. Hey, Joel.
Oh, validation for Joel. Validation for Joel.
Your Honor, may I approach the bench diagonally? Is this just a game to you? I need 2 moves to approach the witness. Permission to approach the witness in 2 moves. Different people who submitted that. Don't sidestep the question.
Okay.
Give us a straight answer. Tell us about your checkered past. Your Honor, he'll never go straight. It's easy to see which side you're on. I wanted to do something about the black and white, but yeah, that's one of the ones that address that. And they, then that's pretty much it.
Well, I think all the chess ones were only good if you didn't actually would not be able to ascertain from the caption by itself that was about chess, just from the caption. So you want it to still make sense. Don't sidestep the question or whatever within this, but not say, it's going to take you 2 moves, or can I move diagonally, or all of that. That's why this is hard, right? Because I think Bob, the other Bob, I should have, not me. You pointed that out, right? Because it tends to restrict you, because the drawing is so strong about that you're just sort of fixated on, I've got to talk about the actual moves. But anyway, so good contest. So Abby Siegel, congratulations.
Congratulations to Abby. Thank everyone who submitted.
And don't forget Lawrence's book, and then Eckstein's book. Your book about the museums is available now, right?
It is. Thanks.
We'll put Lawrence's pre-order in the in our email and in the YouTube comments, as well as Bob. Send me over yours, and I'll add those to the YouTube, and we'll put those in the email as well. Thank you all for submitting, and look forward to seeing you guys next.
All right, that's great. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah.
And now goodbye.